morning viewers. Today we will be talking about Jupiter deep combustion and 5 planets in the sign Capricorn on the 27th February 2022, which may trigger war-like situations, cyclones, tsunami, political traumas. So friends, what is happening is that if we look back, first of all, the most important, the burning topic of the today is Ukraine-Russia crisis. And if I go back, way back in February, on the 20th February 2014, when Russia invaded Ukraine, then we have to see the planetary positions. The planetary positions then there were 4 planets in the sign Libra: Mars, Moon, Saturn and Rahu. Why I am talking about this is that for wars, if we look at WW1, if we look at WW2 and the wars, what have happened, normally Mars and Saturn are afflicting, they are conjunct with the nodes. And at the time of Russia invading Ukraine in 2014 February, Mars and Saturn were together and Mars was very close to Rahu degree wise. So, but these combinations are not taking place in the immediate future and in the year 2022, and even in 2023 the planets Mars and Saturn are not getting conjunct, and Mars and Saturn are getting conjunct, and Saturn should also influence, or these two should influence the nodes. Right now they will be influencing, they will be aspecting degree wise after the 31st March, and to be exact on the 4th of April 2022, which is prone to warlike situations because Mars and Saturn both will be conjunct in the sign Capricorn at 28 degrees, and Rahu and Ketu will also be at 28 degrees. I am talking of true Rahu and true Ketu. And Mars will aspect Rahu and Ketu will be aspected by Saturn. So this is, and they will be in quadrant from each other. So this is a critical parameter. The other parameter is that right now Jupiter is getting combust. Now some astrologers are taking Jupiter combustion at 11 degrees, some are taking at 8 degrees, but my guru says that deep affliction of Jupiter at 5 degrees, within 5 degrees, is prone to adverse effect of the planet Jupiter. Jupiter and Sun are forming the highest Raj Yoga at the moment, the Shiv Raj Yoga, which will be broken on the 24th of February when they come close to each other within 8 degrees. And on the 27th they will be within 5 degrees when all the 5 planets are getting conjunct in the sign Capricorn. Capricorn is the 10th house of the natural zodiac, and it represents the head of the countries, the head of the nations. And when Jupiter and Sun are together and Jupiter gets combust, then there will be ego and egoistic. The kings will become egoistic and they may take some wrong actions. And all this conjunction of 5 planets is taking place in the Lagna, in the ascendant of the Ukraine chart, where Saturn and Moon are placed, and Moon is at 29 degrees in the Dhanishta star, and Saturn has already ingressed in Dhanishta star. The Saraswati has already started, and over the natal Moon, and Saturn is also there. And as far as Russia is concerned, it is taking place in the 5th house, where Mars and Saturn will also be conjunct in this on 27th of February, and the 8th Lord from the Lagna will be placed in the 8th from the 10th house. So, and with Saturn, the 6th Lord and the 5th Lord. So, it is not a good time for Putin to take an aggressive stand and invade Ukraine. It will not be good, but since Mars and Saturn are together, there can be, it can be the crisis can be a hanging fire till Rahu and Ketu go in quadrant from Mars and Saturn, and Mars aspects Rahu and Saturn aspects Ketu. Even then, even after 17th of March, the conditions are not for a fierce war. It can only be warlike, but in the present scenario in 2022, this combination will be the worst combination for warlike situations and tsunami, because in the Navamsha, Jupiter will go in the sign Pisces and it is combust till 23rd of March if we take 8 degrees. So there can be tsunamis, there can be cyclones, and hit to the economy also. The significations of Jupiter will suffer the most. If you look at the chart, I have discussed the chart of 27th February, then I have discussed the chart of the lunation chart of the 2nd March, when there is planetary war between Mars and Venus, there is planetary war between Mercury and Saturn, and then Jupiter is combust. So this 2nd March is prone to war-like situations. There may not be actual war, but the fear of war will keep on hanging. What I mean to say that there may not be actual war is that it will not be a fierce and a full-fledged war. There cannot be a full-fledged war because Mars and Saturn are not conjunct with the nodes. It has been observed in the past. Otherwise, if we look at the combination for war, the Lagna should be afflicted, the Lagna Lord or the Lagna Lord should be afflicted, the 7th house should be afflicted or the 7th Lord should be afflicted, and the out of the luminaries, one should be afflicted. They are getting afflicted. The Lagna is getting afflicted for Russia, the Lagna is Virgo, and Mercury will be afflicted. It will be afflicted in the Navamsha also on the 27th of February. The 7th Lord Jupiter is getting combust. Then the Munta, as per the progression chart, is in the 9th house, and the Munta Lord is afflicted. It is Mars and it is in debilitation as aspected by Saturn. So the combinations are for war, but not a fierce war or not a full-fledged war, because Mars and Saturn are not conjunct with the nodes. So friends, the fear will keep on hanging, and because of this fear, the stock and financial markets can take a beating, and especially after the 24th, when now if we look back 30 years back, if we take the LCM of Jupiter, Saturn and the nodes, it is 30, and Saturn also completes the 30-year cycle from April 1992, and we had the scams, and we have already seen the ABG scam has surfaced. I had predicted this much before, and similar happenings you can see similar happening somewhere in April. And the other thing is that at the time of 8 years back, when Russia invaded Ukraine, then Venus was fallen, and Venus overstayed for 116 days in Sagittarius and Capricorn, and we have similar situations now till the 27th of February, and Venus will be in a fallen state, and it has reached the same degrees, 26 degrees today, and it aspected by Saturn, and then also it was aspected by Saturn. then it was aspected by Saturn by the third aspect. Then Saturn was in the sign Libra. From Libra, the third aspect in Sagittarius. But right now, the Venus is afflicted by Mars. Sorry, it is not aspected by Saturn. It is afflicted by Mars. It is lost in planetary war. So friends, there are similar situations, and for this reason only the crisis between Ukraine and Russia has cropped up. But my feeling is that the possibility of a full-fledged war and a fierce war is missing. We have to see what happens. Yes, there can be a brick batting, definitely. There can be border clashes. The rebels can launch missiles. They can launch, grenades and all that. All that will keep on going on, and the fear for the war will keep on hanging. The actual war can only take place when Mars and Saturn are conjunct. One parameter in the present scenario, the other is that the nodes must be afflicted. The nodes must be afflicting the Mars or Rahu, or Rahu and Saturn. Mars and Saturn, and Mars and Saturn must afflict the nodes. So this is all, friends. I just wanted to share that the present planetary positions are not for a fierce battle and a full-fledged war. The parameters are missing. Although if we look at the parameters as far as war is concerned, as I mentioned, the Lagna, the 7th house are afflicted. The Munta is afflicted in the annual horoscope and the Varshfal, and then Rahu and Ketu will change sign on the 17th of March. So after 17th of March, things can be tricky. From 17th of March till 8th of April, the planetary positions are tricky for war-like situations. And because of this, the stock and financial markets, there will be a check on the stock and financial markets to take the Nifty or the Sensex to a new high. So this is all, friends, I just wanted to share. And Saturn in Dhanishta Nakshatra reaching the 24.53 degrees, the same degrees at the time of Harshad Mehta scam, and the same degrees of Jupiter as far as the foundation chart of the Sensex of 2nd January 1986. In the chart of 2nd January 1986 of the Sensex, Jupiter is debilitated at 24.53 degrees. So when at the time of April 1992, when we had the Harshad Mehta scam, Saturn was transiting in Capricorn in the sign Dhanishta, and exactly over the natal Jupiter in Capricorn, which is in debilitation. So now also when Saturn reaches this degree after the 24th of February, it will touch it is already come in Dhanishta Nakshatra, and the moment it touches 24 degrees on the 24th of February and 27th of February, it will go very close to the degrees of Jupiter. There is every possibility that there may be a break in the stock and financial markets. Then after the 17th of March, and then between 2nd April to 5th of April will be most prone till that time, because Mars is also coming close to Saturn, and the moment Mars crosses Saturn, then again the market will rise. So the main point is till the 4th of April 2022, the stock and financial markets can take a beating, can take a big beating. The Sensex can break 16,000, it can even break 15,000, but since there is no fierce war, there is a possibility of no fierce war, and the possibility of fierce war can only be because, as per the chart of Russia, the 7th house is most important. The 7th house is Pisces, and since Saturn goes in Pisces, there is no till Saturn goes in Pisces, and Rahu also transits after Aries. It comes 1.5 years, it comes in Pisces only. Then there is a possibility of war, because then Saturn and Rahu will be in the 7th house of Russia, and which is Saturn and Rahu and Moon are in the 5th house in the sign Capricorn. But the situations will start, the bickering will start now, and it will explode in a big war when Saturn goes in the sign Pisces, and Rahu is also stationed there. So Saturn and Rahu in the 7th house, and when Mars joins Saturn or Mars comes in the 7th house in the sign Virgo, will be the time when there is a possibility of war, which is almost about 3.5 years from now, which 3 years, minimum 3 years, 2.5 years to 3 years from now. But things will take these things will take you know what I mean, to that the seed of the war will be sowed now. So this is all, friends. I just wanted to say that be very cautious. The stock and financial markets is bound to take a beating very soon, and there is also possibility of brick batting between Russia and Ukraine. It may not be a big war, definitely, and not a fierce war, definitely. So this is all, friends. I just wanted to share. Please subscribe my channel, and thank you for listening to me. Have a good day. Bye bye.